All right, so we're ready to roll with our test shoots. We've got our lights more or less set up. We're gonna only use one light for this setup. We've got this large Broncolor Para 220 as our main light. The power on that pack is 7.0, so it's 7 out of a possible 10, so it's turned up pretty high. Basically the idea here is to keep the lighting fairly simple. Those two lights that you see in the back there, they're actually turned off right now. We're gonna try not to use them. We're just gonna try and go off of this one main light that's gonna light our model and our background all at once. So basically the idea behind the test look is we want to kind of get in and get out quickly, get a nice shot, and then make sure it looks really good out of camera so we don't have to do a ton of retouching on it. It's better to err on the side of under retouch to over retouch for these images because ultimately we want the model to look like herself. The agency wants to represent her, as she is, not, overly retouched. So that's why we're going to get a nice clean image here today and then just save us a ton of work in post-processing. So given that, basically the focus is on our model. So we've got some really cool styling today. It's like a more playful kind of styling, so we're going to do some more playful posing as well. But the clothing is really just there to complement the model, and really we're trying to show off the model, her figure, make her look nice and tall and lean. So all of the clothing that you have here, always going to be to complement the model. It's not our focus. So unlike with the editorial looks where makeup, clothing play a central role, and then the model's there to kind of support that, here our focus is really on making the model look great. Okay, so I think we're pretty close as far as where our lighting should be. I'm at f7 on my camera, 1/200th of a second. ISO is 200. And as you can see, I backed off the parabolic quite a bit. The main reason for that is that we want to light the model evenly from top to bottom. If we bring it really close, it's going to give us a nice soft light on her upper portion, but as we work our way down, it's going to be darker and darker. So we don't want to lose her feet. We want to make sure that everything is lit nice and evenly. So given that this is still a huge light source, the light is going to be relatively soft, across our entire model. If we had a small light source here, we'd have a fairly punchy light having it back this far off. But with this, it's still going to be nice and soft, really flattering, really easy to retouch. So let's go ahead and take a test shot here, see where we're at, and then adjust if we need to. All right, Olivia, so don't have to do anything too crazy on the posing right now. I'm just going to take a test shot and see where we're at. But just give me something a little playful. There we go. All right, so we're looking quite a bit underexposed here. We see that on the face it's a little dark. The darkness in the clothing is kind of just sucking in all the lights. So we can definitely go up, probably close to half a stop, maybe even a full stop. So I could go up in my ISO, but I'm actually going to just turn the pack up a little bit. Go an extra half a stop on the pack, and then if we need to go brighter than that, we can play with our ISO. All right, so gone from 7 to 7.5 on the pack, so that's basically half a stop. And we'll see if this is looking better. Olivia, I'll actually get you a little bit closer to me for this one. Yeah, right there is perfect. All right. All right, so definitely looking better. Probably wouldn't want to turn this up too much more, just because we are starting to get some highlights on her face that are getting fairly bright. So this is probably going to be a good starting point here. One thing I may want to do is actually back this up a tiny bit because it still doesn't look quite even top to bottom. So I'm just going to inch this back a bit more. Somewhere in around there. And the shadow density is pretty high on this side. I'm not getting too much detail on the right side of her hair. And also a lot of shadowing on her arm. So we're going to bring in a V-flat and just kind of set that over there, so it's just going to bounce a little bit of extra light on her. How much room do I have back there? All right, let's see how that's looking. All right, so let's go ahead and grab another test shot here. All right, so definitely a lot better. The shadow density on her arm is a lot lower. We've got a lot more detail in there. The light's nice and soft, nice and flattering. I think we can probably actually go up a little bit more on that pack. Looks like the highlights on our face are not too bright yet, so maybe let's go up another 1/5 on that pack. And provided that's not blowing out any details, I think that'll be our setting and we can start shooting. All right, I think that looks good.